Students, you're requested to put up your names and numbers for the attendance purpose. Recording has already started. Inform others to join the class so that we can start it on time. Okay, so we were in the last lecture, we were going through the investment multiplier. And let's continue with the investment multiplier. First of all, I'll just go through the details of investment multiplier. That is the basic explanation of who brought and why was it there. So when we are talking about investment multiplier, this is something which is having a very great impact on the psychological law given by Keynes. But this concept was not first given by Keynes himself. This was the concept which was propounded by Professor F.A. Knan in the year of 1930. That is, we can say that this was the time of Great Depression. With God's grace, अगर ये theory उस time दे दी जाती तो the Great Depression wouldn't have turned up, but it was not given. It was later propounded further by Knees. Now, what was believed by Nan was that the concept of multiplier is with reference to the increase in employment. That is, he used to believe that as a result of initial increase in investment and employment, there will be a final increase in employment also. But when this concept was propounded by Keynes, he shifted it from employment to investment. He used to believe that whenever there is an original increase in investment and income, the income of others will also, the income will also directly or indirectly increase. So with this, if we are trying to justify the multiplier theory, then we can say that Nan gave us the employment multiplier theory, whereas the theory which was given to us by Keynes was the investment multiplier theory. Because the essence of multiplier is that the total increase in income, output, or employment is mainfold the original increase in investment. If there is an increase in investment, everything else will automatically increase. In now, what is experienced by us in practice is it is observed that when investment is increased by a certain amount, the income will increase, but this increase in income will not be restricted to the extent of initial investment. Whereas the income will not only change, but it will change several times as compared to the increase in investment. Or if we are trying to use other simpler words, then the change in income is a multiple of the change in investment. That is what the multiplier explains, that how many times will the income increase as a result of increase in investment. If the increase in investment is 1, then it is not necessary that the value of increase in income will also be 1. It can be 1, it can be 2, it can be 5, it can be 10, it can be whatever it wants to be. When we are calculating this multiplier effect, it is basically the ratio of increase in national income due to the increase in investment. That is, K is always equal to delta Y divided by delta I. Okay. So what is this delta I divided by delta Y, and why are we going through it? See, as we've already done in the implication of Knees theory, we are well aware that this marginal propensity to consume is something which is very much attached and very much linked with the multiplier effect. You remember the point in which we stated in the implication that the theory of marginal propensity to consume is having a great impact on the multiplier. This point was there in the implications of psychological law given by Keynes. You remember the point? At least reply in yes or no if possible. Do you remember that we went through this point that multiplier is something which is dependent on NPC? Do you want me to show you that page again? Okay, thanks for the response. Okay, so what was it stating in the implication? Can anyone state what was it stating? या भूल गए? चलो, no problem. Now, whenever we are talking about multiplier and MPC, there exists a direct relationship between MPC and the value of multiplier. What is this direct relationship? This direct relationship is higher the value of MPC, more will be the value of multiplier. And vice versa. The lesser the value of MPC, the lesser will be the multiplier. Because this multiplier is based on the fact that a person's expenditure is always an income for someone else. If you are making an expenditure in order to fulfill your consumption requirements, basically you are creating income for some another individual. So when the investment is increased, it also increases the income of the people. And whenever the income of an individual is increased, the people will spend a part of this increased income on consumption. So the amount of increased income spent on consumption depends on the value of marginal propensity to consume. A person will not spend everything, huh? He'll spend some part of it. That is the amount which is dependent on this marginal propensity to consume. Now, in case we are having a higher marginal propensity to consume, people will spend a larger portion of their income on consumption. Countries with lesser income, or we can say poor countries, are having a higher MPC, and the countries having a higher MPC use a larger proportion of their income in consumption. Now, in case of low MPC or in case of rich countries, people will spend lesser proportion of their increased income on consumption and they'll save more. In such case, the value of multiplier will be comparatively less. Whenever MPC is high, multiplier is high. Whenever MPC is low, multiplier is also low. So the value of multiplier is something which is basically dependent upon the marginal propensity to consume. Now, if we go through the algebraic value, we have already seen that here the formula of multiplier is k is equal to y by I, delta y by delta I. Now, here if we are going to the algebraic derivation of multiplier, we can see in the first one that income is equal to consumption plus investment. You're able to see the slides, right? Kids, you're able to see the slides?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. So here they have mentioned one. Yeah. The first equation is that y is equal to c plus 1. So what we'll do is we'll go to the next page, and here just for the sake of writing, we will write down y is equal to c plus I. Okay. Now, why are they writing this? This is in the multiplier analysis. We are concerned with the changes in income induced by the changes in investment. So we will rewrite the equation which is given in equation 1 in terms of the change in variables. So our y is equal to c plus 1, c plus I will become delta y is equal to delta c plus delta I. So I'll use an eraser again, and we will write delta c is equal to delta y plus delta I. Okay. Now, in the simple Keynesian model, the income determination or the changes in investment is considered to be autonomous or independent to the changes in income, while the changes in consumption are the functions of changes in income. That is, this is free from the changes in income, but this is dependent on the changes in income. Okay, so let's move ahead. And in the consumption function, we are having C is equal to A plus BY. Now here A is mentioned as a constant term. This is having no value whatsoever. And B is the marginal propensity to consume, and Y is income. Why they haven't mentioned anywhere, but yes, we know that in macroeconomics, Y is equal to income. Let me rub this off. This will just create doubts in your mind later. right? Now here when A is a constant term, B is marginal propensity to consume, which is also assumed to remain constant. The change in consumption can occur only if there is a change in income. So the third equation that we are having is that delta C will always be equal to B delta Y. That is, change in consumption is always equal to change in income. B is constant, so it will stay. Now what we are doing, we are substituting the third into the second one. This was our second value. Remember, this was our second value. याद है नहीं याद है मुझे कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. Are we clear till here? Fine. So here what we are trying to do is C is equal to delta B delta Y, and the first equation was delta C is equal to delta Y plus delta I. Now when we are substituting 3 into 2, we have on one side we are having delta B delta Y, right? This was our third equation, and this is something which is substituted into 2. So here our delta C is equal to delta B delta Y. B delta Y came over here, right? And we were having Y delta Y plus delta I. So we are having delta I and delta Y. Okay. This is how they have substituted. They have substituted that delta income, the change in income is equal to the change in consumption plus, sorry, my mistake. This is what causes confusion. And if I've written wrong and I'm confused, तो आप लोग तो super confused हो जाओगे. This is delta Y. Sorry, my mistake. And delta C. Okay. Now they are substitute. मैं वही सोच रही थी. And you people don't even tell me कि मैम आपने गलत लिखा है. कौन बताएगा मुझे अगर मैंने गलत लिखा है तो? बोलो बच्चों. Yeah, you're allowed to say that. Even I am human. Okay, now so now we are having this correct second equation with us, and we will substitute this one into the second equation. So our second equation was delta Y is equal to delta C plus delta I. So delta Y remains same. And what is the value of delta C in third one? In third one, the value of delta C is B delta Y. So अपन यहाँ पे B and delta Y instead of delta C plus delta I. Now I'll not have to write any further because further they have done. So that is what is substituted over here, right? Now we are unable to find anything common on the right hand side. So what we will do is we will move B delta Y to the left hand side. By moving B delta Y to the left hand side, we find that delta Y is common in both of them, and the equation that we are getting is 1 minus B. That is the value of MPS. And here what stays is delta I, that is change in investment. Changes in, basically here what they are stating is that income into change in a marginal propensity to save is equal to investment. So, but we need the value of K to be similar in both the cases, as here we are aware that the value of multiplier is delta Y by delta Y by delta I. But here we are not getting that value still. At the same time, earlier when we were considering the multipliers effect, we have seen that the multiplier is equal to 1. This is the actual formula, that is 1 divided by 1 minus MPC. I'll correct it into the slide, don't worry. We need these two formulas over here. Now we cannot get the formula over here, so what we'll do is 1 minus B will be multiplied by delta I, and as you change the side from is equal to, that is from right hand side to left hand side, it is moving and it is the multiple of y over here. So here it will turn up as a divisible. So 1 divided by 1 minus B. Now our income is equal to 1 divided by 1 minus marginal propensity to consume into delta income. But our formula
Ma'am,
of,
ma'am,
yes,
that I didn't understood that how 1 upon 1 minus.
whenever we are having this multiplication, na, we go for cross multiplication. So
That I
any,
got is that 1 minus b is in denominator. 1 how did we get in numerator? There should be delta I upon 1 minus b should be there. No?
no, it will be multiplied because delta I might be having its own denominator.
Okay, ma'am.
That is an assumption which is taken over here. That is the reason we are not giving it. We are not giving delta I as the numerator over here.
Okay.
Okay. So now later what we'll do is we'll change the position of this one also, because our entire intention is to make sure that the value of both the multiplier equations is coming to equal. So here this will again shift to the right hand side and the equation will come to delta y divided by delta I, which was stated over here. A is equal to delta y by delta I, and in front of that, that is equal to, it is 1 divided by 1 minus b, which is 1 minus 1 divided by MPC. So E stands for the marginal propensity to consume, and here we are getting that equation, that is whenever we are trying to calculate the multipliers effect, either it is income and investment which are available to us, or we are just having a marginal propensity to consume. In both the cases, we'll get the same value. That is what the algebraic demarcation of multiplier was all about. That is why we went through this entire derivation. Let's move ahead. Now, this is the same formula of multiplier which is obtained earlier. So what we have to note? We have to note that the value of multiplier, that is delta y by delta I, will remain constant as long as the marginal propensity to consume will remain same. If the marginal propensity to consume is remaining 7, the value of multiplier will remain same. If the value of propensity is changing, then the multiplier will also change. Now, there's one more thing which we have to understand and note, and that is multiplier is no doubt directly related to MPC, that is marginal propensity to consume. But the formula of marginal propensity to save is 1 minus MPC. So the value of multiplier is inversely related to MPS. That is, the value of multiplier depends upon the value of marginal propensity to consume, because K and MPC are directly related. If marginal propensity to save to consume is more, K is more. If MPC is less, K is less. But this is not the case with marginal propensity to save. It is exactly working in the contrary fashion. If MPS is high, K is low. If MPS is low, K is high. Why? Because the relationship between MPC and MPS is also inverse. एक नीचे जाता है, दूसरा ऊपर जाता है, दूसरा नीचे जाता है, पहला ऊपर जाता है. Yes. Now someone is having a question. Please. Who's having a question? पूछ लो बच्चे. Asking questions is good. Okay, so this is clear. When this is clear, we can move ahead. And that is the minimum and maximum value of multiplier. Okay. What is the minimum value of marginal propensity to consume? Anyone can tell me? What is the minimum value of marginal propensity to consume? Okay. And what is the maximum value of marginal propensity to consume? 1. Absolutely right. When will an individual reach at 1 in marginal propensity to consume? When will we get 1 as marginal propensity to consume? चलो, what is the formula of marginal propensity? Marginal propensity का formula क्या होता है? Delta C divided by delta Y, change in consumption divided by change in income. Now MPC is reaching 1, matlab 100 is divided by 100. So we are getting 1. Now my question again stands. When will the MPC be 1? Jitesh, what do you think? MPC will be 1 in which condition? Okay, when the consumption is maximum or when the consumption has increased with the equal proportion to income. Yes, yes. When the increase in income and the increase in consumption have increased equally, your marginal propensity to consume will be 1. If we are having an income of 100 rupees and our consumption is also 100 rupees, now our income has increased to 200 rupees and our consumption has also increased to 200 rupees. Will we be able to save anything?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No? Are you sure?
Yes, ma'am.
Obviously.
Yes, ma'am.
जब हमारे पॉकेट में 200 रुपए हमने 200 खर्च कर दिए तो will not be having anything to save. Now, what will be the value of multiplier over here? The calculation of multiplier is K is equal to 1 divided by 1 minus MPC. So what will we have? We will have K is equal to 1 divided by 1 minus 1 because we are having maximum marginal propensity to consume. So basically it will come to 1 by 0, which is something which is equal to 1 by 0 is infinity. Anything by 0 is infinity, right? Am I right? Am I wrong?
Correct, ma'am.
Correct, no? So this will happen when our marginal propensity to consume is highest. Our multiplier will be infinite. It will not be negative. So the value of K basically depends on the value of MPC or MPS. Now we know that MPC cannot be negative and it can at the most be 0. Minimum value is 0. Whereas the maximum value of marginal propensity to consume can be 1. Now the minimum value of multiplier is always 1 because the minimum value of
Ma'am, when MPC will be 1 at that time, MPS will be 0, no?
exactly
Okay.
that is what we did, na? See over here, 1 minus MPC is 0. So the minimum value of multiplier is 1 because the minimum value of MPC can be 0. Now when MPC is equal to 0, this indicates that the economy decides to save the whole additional income and nothing is being spent on consumption expenditure. That is when this one is 0. When this one is turning up to 0, 1 minus 0 and it will come back to 1. and 1 is the least value of a multiplier. This is not going to increase your income at all. So there will be no further increase in the income, and as a result, the total increase in income, that is delta y, will be equal to delta I. Because when k is equal to 1, then delta, मेरा delta थोड़ा सा टेढ़ा बन गया, तो just ignore it. Delta y is equal and divided by delta I will also be equal to 1. Now when they are 1, obviously there is no increase in income at all. So here the value of multiplier is equal to 1 when k is equal to 1 and there is no increase in income anymore. Now the maximum value of multiplier is infinity. When the MPC, let me use an eraser once again. So now this is infinity when our marginal propensity to consume is maximum. The maximum value of MPC can be 1. That indicates that the economy decides to consume the whole amount of additional income, and it is not going to save anything. So now whatever you save will increase infinitely, and that is why the value of multiplier becomes infinity. And this will lead to a continuous rise in the consumption expenditure, and the value of multiplier will be infinity when you have consumed everything. Okay. Now symbolically, what we have mentioned over there, they have mentioned over here. Do I need to explain this again? Do I need to explain this again? Achoo? Right? We have already done this practically, so we don't need it again. Now, between the two extremes, that is 1 and infinity, the value of multiplier varies depending upon the value of marginal propensity to consume. Okay? So this is what the investment multiplier concept was all about. Now, what is the importance of this concept? Let us go through that. Just a second. Just give me a moment. Okay. So firstly, it is established an immense importance of investment as the major dynamic element in the economy. That investment is something which is most dynamic and most changeable. Not only did it indicate the direct creation of employment, it also revealed that income was generated throughout the system like a stone causing ripple. Like if you do an investment, someone else might get an income and it will have a ripple effect, multiplier effect. It's like you are making an investment. Because of that investment, there is income for someone. When someone else is having an income, their consumption will increase, which will further increase the marginal propensity to consume. Now, when there is an increase in the marginal propensity to consume, there will be more requirement, there will be more demand. So our aggregate demand function will rise. When the aggregate demand function will rise, we'll need more people to fulfill that demand. So there'll be more employment. When there will be more employment, there will be more income. When there is more income, the consumption will increase. When the consumption will increase, there will be more demand. When there will be more demand, there will be more employment, and it will go on and on and on and on. So it is basically creating ripple effect. An income invested by one person is becoming income for n number of people. So on the side of practical economic policy, this is of utmost importance because the case for public investment has always been more strengthened by the introduction of this concept. And moreover, this also tells us that small increment in investment leads to large increase in investment and employment. you are investing something which is becoming income for someone else, and that is how this ripple effect is being created. ऐसा वाला ripple effect everyone likes. Then this is also useful as an analytical tool for suitable employment, for following suitable employment policies. Like, we are aware that a certain amount of employment can be created by the government. But government can also create an employment only when they are having a certain amount of investment. When we are having a certain amount of investment, what happens with us is, we, when the government is having certain amount of investment, they'll go for societal benefit. When they'll go for societal benefit, they'll create more jobs, and उसके बाद तो हमारा ripple effect start हो ही जाता है. So we can find that the theory of multiplier has brought almost a virtual revolution in the thinking of economists and policymakers alike. With the help of this multiplier theory, that 1 rupee invested is equal to 10 rupees, they are able to make new economic theories, and they are able to make new policies with respect to investment. And with the use of this concept, the approach was of this no intervention was radically changed in public sector, practically for all the countries in the world. So these are the importance of investment multiplier. Are we clear with this? Are we clear with the importance? Anyone who is having a question mark that why is this important anymore? No one is having any doubt regarding the multiplier effect, investment multiplier? Yes, Diti? Yes, beta.
Ma'am, it was by mistake. Sorry.
It's okay.
It
It's
by
okay.
mistake.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. मुझे लगा कोई क्वेश्चन आएगा तो मजा आएगा उसको सॉल्व करने में, बट ठीक है, whatever you want. So no one is having any doubt, and then I'll start your next unit. Give me a moment. I'll stop the presentation and we'll start the next unit. Okay, so we'll start your unit 3 with the completion of this one. Now, what is there in your unit? Sorry, what is there in your unit 3? Anyone can tell me? अब आप बोलोगे मैम ये हमें कैसे पता? नहीं 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 नहीं. It is central bank, but RBI नहीं. Okay, so what is included in your unit 3 is give me a second, but I'll be back in a moment. Okay. Now, what all is included? Basically, in our third unit, we'll be going through everything which is related to money. That is, what is the definition of money? What is the function of money? Which are the different kinds of money? Then, what is the demand of money? हम इतना सब सोचते हैं कभी पैसे खर्च करते टाइम? No, not inflation and deflation. That we will not be going through in this section. I'm just asking a very simple question. हम खर्चा करते टाइम कभी इतना सोचते हैं मनी के बारे में?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, never. I agree with you. We never think about it. We never think that the money which you're spending is in the form of card or credit card or cash, that is paper currency or coin. If someone asks us for 30 rupees, we'll just gather 30 rupees and give it to them. It can be in the form of coin, it can be in the form of currency notes, it can be in the form of anything, right? But actually it has so many things to do with it, with itself. We are just grabbing it from our wallets and paying it off. So what all we'll be going through is we'll be trying to understand what that money is, which we spend on day-to-day basis. So we'll be going through the evolution of money. What is the definition? What are the functions of money? एक money का EY में खावी. Then what is the demand for money? What is the quantity theory of money? What is the Fisher's equation of exchange? Then we'll be going through the Cambridge theory. Then we'll be going through the supply of money. Then what are the determinants to the money supply? What are the components of money supply and so on. Then at the end, we'll be going through the RBI's approach of M1, M2, M3 and M4. RBI, yes, but inflation, deflation, nahi. Not right now. So let's move ahead towards the meaning of money. What is money? You tell me what is money.
Anything that is generally acceptable as a medium of exchange.
Okay. Anyone else? Money is the store of value, money is exchange, and money. And anyone else?
Acts as a time.
Okay. And
Anything that is given with the exchange of goods and services.
okay. You people are quite clear about money. Why are these economists not so clear about money? They're having so many approaches. This can be included, that can be included, this can be done, that can be done. हमसे ही पूछ लेते, हम ही बता देते. Okay, that was on a jokes apart, but even till today's date, there is no agreement on this most fundamental question. So what is money? There are n number of people, there are n number of economists who believe that money is what money does. So we are still not having an answer to this, that what is money? There's a song in Katrina Kaif and Akshay Kumar. क्या बोलती क्या चीज है पैसा? We are actually not having an answer to it. उसके आगे की lines I'm not gonna say because that is very cheap. But yes, we are not having an answer to it. So Akshay Kumar is singing it. But yes, for the time being, we can say that money is what it does. And if we are going for a conceptual definition, then money is anything that is generally accepted as the medium of exchange and holds value. That can be termed as money. કે ચાલો કઈ નહીં તો આ તો કરીએ જ આટલું તો તું છે જ. Okay, so with this we will stop today and we'll meet tomorrow with a fresh unit and with a better definition of money as compared to any other economist. Have a good day, kids. If anyone who's in the class is having any doubt, they can ask me the question. If you're not having any doubt, then you can leave.